Hello everyone, me again, Les Butler, and today I want to talk about my friend Vic Clay. Now if you have the March issue of Singing News Magazine, then you've read the story that I wrote on Vic, but the story was more kind of facts and figures and that kind of stuff, but I want to talk about Vic from a very personal standpoint. I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, the Southern Gospel Mecca of the world, thanks to the Orrells for bringing Southern Gospel music to Chicago with some frequency, and thanks to my mom and dad for joining the Canaan Record Club. Between all of the above, I was bitten by the bug, and I don't think there's any cure for it. So anyway, born in April 29th, 1962. I don't care. I'll be 50 in a few days. I'll deal with that. But what happened was, through my life, I've always enjoyed Southern Gospel music. My parents were always singing it. My dad's a preacher, pastor, and so it's always been a part of my life. But I started to play music, and through my family group, we would go and play, at singings and revivals and camp meetings and that kind of thing throughout the Chicago area. And some of the artists that we would sing with there locally enjoyed what I did musically, and I started to get invitations and requests to produce albums. I was a teenager, had no idea what was entailed in producing recordings. So I wanted to do it, though I didn't know how to do it. So I thought, well, okay, let me get some of my favorite albums and kind of check out who produces them, and maybe I can get with them and learn some things. And so one of my favorite groups then and today, the Cathedral Quartet, and their producer at that time was Vic Clay. So I contacted Vic Clay, and at that time he lived in Cincinnati. He managed Artist Recording Studio, where all of the top, well, not all, but a lot of the top artists in Southern Gospel music, where they produced their albums. Folks like the Florida Boys, Teddy Huffman and the Gems, the Hoppers at that time, and the list goes on and on. Well, the Cathedral Quartet, they recorded their recordings there. So I called Vic and told him who I was and what was going on, and I had some groups to produce, and he said, well, come on down, let's do it. So I flew into Cincinnati, and I was going to get an airport van or something like that to get me to the hotel. Well, he picks me up at the airport. I'm thinking to myself, doesn't he know he's Vic Clay? the producer of the Cathedral Quartet? Doesn't he know that? Why is he picking me up? That's very nice. And then, of course, on the way to the hotel, we stopped by Skyline Chili. Vic, I don't know whether I love you for that or I hate you for that. I was bitten by the Skyline Chili bug, and I haven't gotten over that, as you no doubt can tell. But anyway, I digress. So we go to Skyline, and then we go to the hotel, and then we work on some arrangements, and the next day we're going to record. And so that started a wonderful relationship. I produced many albums there with him in Cincinnati at Artist Recording Studio. And he was so kind and so patient and such a mentor. He taught me how to read charts, how to write charts, how to play with a studio band, which is completely different than playing with a live band. And just taught me all the ins and outs of engineering and producing and working in a studio environment. And he didn't need to do that. I was a teenager. Didn't know what I was doing, green as a gourd, and yet he was very patient and very thorough, and was such a blessing to me in my life that I'll never get over that. So Vic, I love you, I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for what you sowed into me in my life, and it has helped to give birth to a career now that I've been doing this for over 33 years, and you are a major reason why. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate it. And then for all the other Southern Gospel artists who are watching this or listening, and even those in the industry, there's a lesson here for us, myself included. Take the time to mentor those who come to you and have an interest in what you do, singing or playing, or in the business side as a booking agent, or an engineer, or a producer, a manager, whatever the case may be. If some young folks come up to you and show a desire and a love for this music and what we do, don't shun them, don't brush them off. Let them help them to embrace what we do, because we won't be doing it forever, and we need other qualified people that love the gospel of Southern gospel music, as well as the art of Southern gospel music itself. So like Vic Clay, let's all be a mentor. We'll all be better off for it, and our industry will as well. I brought a few albums with me, a little show and tell to go along with this blog. This is the very first ever live album that the Cathedral Quartet recorded. They recorded it in Cincinnati. I believe this one was recorded in the cafeteria, maybe, of the Cathedral of Tomorrow. I'm not sure about that. Vic could help me out there. But you can see Vic here behind Haskell Cooley, the piano player. You can barely see his face there. I'm going to flip it around. You have a little bit better view of Vic. That's Vic there holding the guitar. And something that I didn't mention about Vic, he is an absolutely fantastic guitar player. He plays some lead, plays a little harmonica too. I had him play harmonica on some recordings back in the day, in the 70s and 80s. But he's just a great musician and producer. And anyway, very cool record, and that's going back to the early 70s here. And then a couple of my favorite Cathedral Quartet recordings. This one's called Greater. Now, the Cathedral Quartet, their record company was Canaan Records. That's where they cut all of the really big songs that they would send to radio, and had hit songs from those recordings. But also, every year they would record one or two what's called custom records, where it was something that they just sold on their record table. They didn't send to radio, they didn't send to media for reviews or anything like that. They just recorded some songs, and if you saw them in person, then you could buy them at the record table. And this is one such recording. But whenever the Cathedral Quartet and Vic Clay got together to record, it didn't matter if it was a little custom label deal or if it was something for Canaan Records. It was all the same. It was great. They chose great songs, great players, great arrangements, great production, recorded it, and to me, they were all one and the same. This might as well have been on Canaan Records. But this particular one had My Lord Will Send to Moses, great version of Great Is He That Is in Me, and Oh, the Glory Did Roll, the old gospel quartet standard there, and many others. Just a fantastic recording. Loved it. And then here's probably, I hesitate to say, my favorite Cathedral Quartet album of all time, because I have so many of them. This is one of them. Maybe the top one. And boy, do I love this record. It's called Better Than Ever. And it features what I think is one of the greatest songs that's ever been in Southern gospel music, called Mercy. And another one called I Know a Man Who Can. Greater Vision just covered that on their new CD. And by the way, A+ to Gerald and all the guys. Fantastic version of that. Also, Roll Away Troubled River, a great song called I Saw Love, Right On God's Careworn Children. Just tons of great songs on this. Incredible singing from the guys. So this is a Canaan record, but it too was recorded just like this one at Artist Recording Studio in Cincinnati with my friend Vic Clay in the producer's seat. So wonderful music. Vic, thank you for this legacy of great music from not only the cathedrals, but so many of the biggest artists in our industry that you've produced and played on and had a big part in their careers, just like mine. Thank you. I appreciate it. We love you, and stay tuned. Got another blog coming before very long.